Peace, family. This is the Vibrant Feminine here, from the Vibrant Feminine Expressions. Bit of a late video. Supposed to have posted it a few days ago, but this Mercury retrograde things have been coming up. So I've been currently looking at the super new moon, this Virgo moon, while meditating in the energy of the super new moon, the worm moon. Quite a lot of energy were coming out of the Mercury retrograde, which was very difficult, had many people, had us all reevaluating situations, going over things that we thought that we had already dealt with, and so on and so forth. So moving forward, with what this Virgo moon has to offer us and what we're actually going through right now, the energy that first came out, we've got the waiting game. We've also got temptation, material and spiritual prosperity, and recognition and reward. So while I was tapping into this energy, what I get from this waiting game is many people are still going through the shadow side of what the Mercury retrograde had to offer. Many spiritual awakenings had happened in this time. Seeds have been sown from the things that have been learnt, the lessons that we've had to revisit. So I believe that the waiting game is to do with waiting for what's coming next. Already putting your seeds out, learning what you've learned and saying, okay, I get that, I want something brand new. So that's what I get from that there is an element to waiting, wanting to come out of this funk, and I think this is where this temptation card is coming from. This card it's just basically like the ricochet of the Mercury retrograde, being pulled and pushed in two different directions. Understanding that a change is coming, and this Mercury retrograde has really, really opened our eyes to many, many things, especially even personally for myself, but as in the collective, it's been a lot. So I believe that this temptation is, like I say, is like a shadow of what was going on for the Mercury retrograde. And we have got the material and spiritual prosperity, and this is like the material, and we're starting to look now into what we've learned from the past and not allowing the stuff that came up to continue to linger, to stop this material and spiritual prosperity. Because realistically, because we went through this, there is prosperity because there's learning happening here, spiritual growth, material prosperity as well, which is what we like to hear. Excuse me. We also have recognition and reward, and that's after putting in all that effort, peeling away at the onion, burrowing deeper and deeper into our minds, our situations, looking at our friendships, our relationships, what's happening with our co-workers, etc. So I'm just going to draw some energy for the waiting game. and see if we can get a bit more clarity on what this waiting is actually really all about. I am that I am, divine spirits, guardian angels, ancestors of love and light. I ask that you bless this reading, and I am only allow energies of the light and love to communicate with me this dawning. And I thank you in advance for your messages. Let me get some clarification on the waiting game, please. Okay. Here we are. So we have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Six of Wands. See, we've got the recognition and reward again here. So, there's Two of Cups, the waiting game. Is this situation, is this partnership going to continue to be fruitful? Are the things that we learnt through this Mercury retrograde going to continue to be beneficial? We've got the Knight of Cups here with this offer of love. It's possibly some of us waiting on that offer of love. Maybe deciding not to make any moves within the Mercury retrograde. Excuse me. We're waiting to see if this offer of love will continue. And the fact that you've been patient and not stressed this coming together, this partnership within this time. You'll get your recognition and reward. You'll get your reward for taking some time, going through your individual dark nights of the souls, and not running into somebody taking offers, building or cementing partnerships, love connections, etc. So that's what I get for that. Yeah, because I get a sense that for some of you within this Mercury retrograde, there were offers. But within that time when you were in deep thought and contemplation, I get the sense that some of you were anxious, annoyed even, waiting to feel better, waiting for the dust to settle before you can even look at anything to do with any extra partnerships or offers of love. And now you're putting in that effort, you'll get your reward. So it looks like this new moon it's got some lovely things in store, because it's about clearing out, decluttering, gaining some clarity, making movements, taking action. So it looks like soon enough the waiting should be over, which is brilliant news. So I'm going to find out about this temptation. Tell me about this temptation, please. And then we've got Temperance. Yeah. Needing to keep the balance. Not allowing the energies and all what has happened mentally to take you out of yourself. And also keep a balance in the midst of this tower where something needed to be broken down for clarity to be had. And to be mindful not to have a tendency to pretend and act like nothing has happened. Like there hasn't been a huge tragedy or an awakening or some more inner knowing now that the tower has fallen and clarity has been had. And also here, temptation, the need for balance, tower, and then the Knight of Pentacles in reverse talks of not resting on your laurels. When you've got to one level, don't stop there, just keep going, and don't allow the stuff of the past to take you from where you're supposed to be. Not wanting you to carry on because you've been through so much. Don't allow the bumps and the bruises and the scars to stop you. Don't make you go into yourself so much that you even pretend and act like nothing has happened. Or rather find balance and understanding of a new way to go. Yeah, so the message is just to continue. Recognition and reward is coming. Yeah. Yet you'll be rewarded for not staying in the funk and taking charge, gaining that balance, making that movement. Okay, material and spiritual prosperity. Okay, so we have here the moon, and that talks about intuition and inner knowing, dreams, even at sometimes deception. It's in the reverse. I think it's all about paying attention to your dreams, because I think that will lead you to your material and your material and your spiritual prosperity. Yeah, because what I'm getting here is that with this inner knowing, you already know how you want to move forward from what has happened before. And you're also not willing to accept anything less than what you deserve. Like that Four of Cups. You're not accepting this offer. You're looking past it. Because you know there's more. That's how I read this. There's more. You're not. There's more, and you're not willing to give up. There is more. There's a tendency to want to give up, not want to push forward. But you know that there's more. This inner knowing, these dreams, these that's what I get from that. You're not wanting to take the first offer, wanting to hang back and wait for something bigger. Recognition and reward. Tell me about recognition. recognition and reward, please. Thank you in advance. Messages. 3 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, like I say again, you know you're going to get that recognition and reward for all you've gone through. This new moon is talking about, let's not make mountains out of molehills. Not making something small big because of the bigger picture. You see the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is the reward for all that you've gone through and the recognition of how far you've come and how much you've grown in this time. Yeah, making a decision. Making a decision not to behave like that. Making a decision to stand up strong. Too many cards. I'll get one more, please. Recognition and reward. Yeah. No longer allowing yourself to be beat up by things you perceive as being personal. If it has no bearing on who you are and what you're doing, you take it on. You get one more card for this recognition and reward. Yes, you're making that decision to make movements away from the low vibration, anything that doesn't serve you, to go for what you really deserve after putting in all that work. Yeah, this is a lot of ricochet. Page of Wands. And it talks about being ready to take on new opportunities, being at the very beginning of it. Still quite tentative, making sure you don't jump before you need to. Yeah, I'm getting it's time. It's time to show what you have to offer. You might be at the very beginning of your journey, at the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. It's time, and it looks like you're ready to show what you have, what you've learned in this short space of time, knowing that the journey is still continuing. But there are new opportunities, and I feel the opportunity is to come away from this childlike behaviour, this adolescent behaviour of making mountains out of molehills. Indecision. Rather, to make the decision to take opportunities and to finally get your recognition and your reward. Okay, so I'm going to close this reading. Didn't expect it was going to be so long. I'm going to close this reading with, in fact,